Good afternoon, everyone. How you guys doing? Having fun at the conference so far? All right, great. Well, this is going to be the best session of the day. I'm just warning you. It's actually happy hour starts a little bit early today, so take this as the first happy hour of the day. We're going to be talking about connecting and transforming to data using Power Query. How many of you have some data? Right? So you need to bring it into either Power BI, Excel, Power Apps, and many other places, right? So this is the right session. You've come to the right place. My name is Miguel Llopis. I'm the program manager lead for Power Query M and Data Flows. And I have my good friend Matt Mason downstairs who's going to come later on to do some advanced M demos as well. What are we going to do? We're actually going to talk a little bit about why data preparation is important. We're going to talk a bunch about Power Query. We're going to do overview. We're going to do a bunch of demos. And then we're going to show you recently shipped capabilities. And we're also going to talk about some things that are coming soon. How many of you are already familiar with Power Query? OK, bunch of you. So for those of you who are not, we're going to start with an overview. And we're going to kind of get you all back on track with the rest of the room. And then we're going to go into more of a deep dive. Before we do that, let's just talk about why data preparation is important. Let's think about, in today's BI and analytics world, what's the data preparation process look like? So first of all, you'll need to find and connect to some data. That's easy. Once you find and figure out which data you need to connect to, you got a really nice experience across tools to connect to data. Doesn't really matter where you're connecting to, because data is always in the right shape. No matter what you're going to do, it's ready for exactly what you need to do in terms of analytics and consumption. If you ever need to do some reshaping of the data, that's easy and quick. It can be done without effort, regardless of which data source or a bunch of data sources you might want to combine. That's super easy as well. The volumes of data are relatively small, easy to manage. There's never problems with that. And usually data only comes from a single source. So refreshing and aggregating and normalizing data across sources, it's very easy, right? All right, this was my test. I see some of you are already like, what is this guy talking about? Reality is quite the opposite. Finding and connecting to data is really hard for end users. They never know where is the right source of data. Once they figure actually what the right source is, they don't have credentials, so they need to go call somebody else. Even once they have the credentials and they connect to the data, understanding the data that's there and browsing and exploring it, it's actually, it's not easy. You have many different experiences across products. They're fragmented. They're inconsistent. Data very often, and I actually strike this and say always, needs to be reshaped so that it can fit what you're trying to do. There's never a one-size-fits-all schema for your data. As much as we try, there's always going to have refinements you have to make on top of that. The reshaping of data is very hard to make repeatable. You'll need to take care of a few things in order to make sure that your queries and your transformation steps are future-proof. And also combining data across multiple sources is difficult because sometimes you don't have the right join keys across, or even if you do, there's slightly different variations. So you have to handle things like fuzzy matching logic and a bunch of stuff like that, deduping values, and many things. And the last point here is about big data. So when somebody thinks about big data, you think data volume. But it's not only about the data volume itself, the petabytes of data. It's also about the variety, the different types of data sources that you're connecting to, the different shapes, and having to bring them all together, as well as the velocity, and not just how quickly something changes, but also the mismatch at which different data sources change. There may be data sources that change only once a month or once a quarter. Think, financial results and things along those lines. There's data sources that change every single second, with IoT and many other types of data out in the wild. So how you bring it all together, how you reconcile it and make it fit what you're trying to do, it's where most of the complexity is. Furthermore, here's a quote from Gartner. When you're trying to analyze some data, 80% of the time is spent on just preparing the data so you can analyze it. Isn't that crazy? What if we gave you some of that 80% of the time back? Well, that's what we're trying to do. So how does Power Query help you with that? If you think about those 3 V's that we were talking about, the variety of the data, the different set of data sources that you need to connect to, that's something that we are trying to help you with, because we have now over 100 different data sources built in. But we also have extensibility mechanisms, so you can actually plug in many other things. So we do support things like REST APIs, or data feeds, ODBC, OLEDB drivers. So you can plug literally hundreds or thousands of data sources. And we also have a full extensibility model. We call it the Power Query SDK, so that you can build your own custom connectors if you wish to actually simplify some of that underlying logic. And you can easily redistribute that to other users, either within your organization as a custom connector, or if you actually wanted to make this available to the world at large, to every Power BI customer, say you own a data service or a data source that you'd like to bring into Power BI, you can actually use our certification program to actually bring it all into Power BI. In addition to that, we also provide a highly interactive and intuitive user experience that's called the Power Query Editor. It's all point and click, interact with your data, manage the data, work with a preview of the data that gives you enough of an understanding of your data so that you can apply the right transformations to fix the schema, to fix outlier, duplicated values, errors, and so on and so forth. This experience that I'm talking about is actually consistent across all of the data sources, and the capabilities are also consistent. So it doesn't really matter if you're connecting to a smart data source backend, such as, say, a SQL Server database or an Oracle database where you have compute. You have a SQL endpoint behind the scenes that you can query and aggregates and filters data for you, so you can delegate the execution of those queries. Or whether you're connecting to something as simple as a text file. Well, we give you the same capabilities. If you're going to do a group by over a text file, we'll allow you to do it. We'll compensate. We'll run those queries locally for you. The last point, but certainly not least, combining data across data sources is super easy with Power Query because of the same reason. It's just a single experience where we allow you to do things like merge, effectively a join in database terms, appending data or a union in database terms, but we also allow you to call and functions and parameterize queries across, and we'll get into that as part of some of the demos. Power Query is the uniform get data experience and technology. Underlying is the mashup engine, the M engine, and the M formula language that powers connectivity across Power BI, analysis services, data flows, and many other products across Microsoft. Let's do a little bit more of a Power Query overview, per se. We do have a Power Query desktop component. That's probably the one that you're the most familiar with because it's been around for a few years now. We actually just a couple months ago, we passed our 5-year anniversary on Power Query desktop. So it's available within Power BI. If you use Power BI desktop to author data sets and reports, you're using the Power Query desktop get data experience and the Power Query editor experience to reshape and transform and combine data. It's also available as part of analysis services, so you can author analysis services models both on-premises as well as in the cloud with Azure Analysis Services. And finally, within Excel is the default get data experience in Excel through the data tab. It's powered by Power Query. As we were saying earlier, we actually have over 100 data sources now, lots and lots of transformations, over 300 transformations, allowing you to join data, combine, reconcile, clean data, and we compensate wherever the underlying data source doesn't support those capabilities, or we rely on the underlying compute engines such as SQL or Spark or any others to push down execution wherever possible. So a little bit of walkthrough across the different product integrations for Power Query. Power Query in Excel. How many of you have used Power Query in Excel? All right, most of you, great. Power Query in Power BI desktop with the new theme that we just launched today. Power Query within, got ahead, within SQL Server Analysis Services and Azure AS. So here is the SQL Server data tools within Visual Studio where you actually use the Power Query experience to define those large enterprise data models in analysis services. And the last common piece across all of them is the query editor, which is where you will do the bulk of the transformations and reshaping of data within Power Query. Now, with all that said, the underlying brains behind Power Query is the mashup engine. The mashup engine is the query runtime that powers the underlying data operations that power Power Query. It provides those uniform capabilities. No matter which connector you use, you're going to be able to run the same set of M functions and transformations to operate on top of that data. Whether we can compensate or we can actually push down the execution to the underlying data source really depends on the data source you're working with. The formula language powering Power Query, it's called M. M is the formula language that allows you to define all of those transformations and operations. So in a way, you can think about the Power Query editor user experience as a design time tool to generate M code that then gets run through the mashup engine to actually pull data across all of these data sources and combine it together. That's pretty much all it is. We already talked about most of the other things here, including the custom connector SDK and the number of transforms. So with all that said, I must confess, I don't like slides, so I love demos. Let's actually go do a few demos. All right, so for the first demo, I'm actually going to be showing you getting started of Power BI Desktop with Power Query. So let's actually look at a very interesting example. We have a data set like this one. This data set, it's interesting. Let me zoom in a little bit. So, the data is in a particular shape here, and we as humans could actually guess what this whole thing is about. Let's actually think about this highlighted cell, 33,252. So if we look from the top, we see this row here that says Seattle and Portland, and then it has some empty cells. And OK, so those are cities or regions. Great. Now let's look at row 2, beverages, condiments, produce, seafood, confections, produce again over there. So great. So those sound like product categories. Great. Now let's look at the values in the column 1 or column A. They're integer numbers, but they're actually not accidental numbers. They start somewhere around 2000, past 2000, all the way to 2013, and they're actually incremented by 1, row by row. So we say, OK, these are years. Perfect. So now we kind of understand that this value here, this 33,000 value, is probably something like total sales in the year 2008 in Portland for the seafood product category, right? OK, so now we actually need to massage this data using Power BI so that we can actually build a real report on top of this. This data is pivoted, is transposed, it has a lot of built-in knowledge that we need to unravel so that we can actually normalize this into a table that then we can actually build a chart to say, well, tell me total sales in Seattle across all the product categories, or tell me the average total sales by category on a given year across all of our locations. Let's actually go and build that. The first thing I'm going to do is grab the file path here. All right, let me go back, copy the path. And now I'm going to transition back to Power BI Desktop. And we're actually looking at the start page. Don't miss that call out here for the Business Application Summit. You guys should go to that conference. I heard there's some real nice sessions over there. We'll actually go get some data. So I'll click Get Data. And now we're looking at those 100+ connectors that we were talking about. We're actually going to connect to an Excel file. And OK, so here I have my file, the multi-level spreadsheet. So now we are connecting and analyzing that spreadsheet. And we're going to return a list of things that we found that are interesting here. There's actually just one thing. There is my spreadsheet number 1. And we're going to go edit, because we need to do some transformations within the Power Query editor. In this case, we actually tried to guess, but we didn't guess right. So you can actually delete a couple of steps to go back to the raw data state. Now, within here, there's a few things that we need to do. The first one that we need to do is actually transpose, so that we turn rows into columns. Now, we do have this first row with the years. We can actually turn that first row into the headers. So we're going to use the use first row as headers transformation. Great. And now we have this first column that holds the regions. So remember we said the blank cells were actually Seattle and then Portland and then Vancouver. So we can fill those by using the fill down transformation within the ribbon. And that starts looking much better. So now this column is actually our city. And this one is the product categories. And now we do have different columns, one for each year, with the specific data for that year. Now here's the interesting transform. we're going to select these two columns, and then we're going to say, well, those are my two dimensions. And then I have a third dimension, which is the year, that right now is on a per column basis. I need to unpivot that data. So you can select these two and then say unpivot. Now, there's three ways you can do it. You can unpivot the ones that are selected now, which is not what I want to do here. I could unpivot the other columns, and I could unpivot only the ones that I've selected right now. So what I'm going to do is unpivot the other columns. Now, the way I've done it with unpivot other columns ensures that next year, when I refresh this report again, this data set again, and somebody added a new row of data to the Excel spreadsheet, or a new column, I guess, with the actual sales numbers for, say, 2019, the data will come through and it will be automatically unpivoted for you without you having to come back and make any changes. As stupid as it sounds, this is actually a huge differentiator. There's no other BI tool out there that knows how to do this thing that I just mentioned here. Anyways, we're actually going to clean up these column names. So this is my year, and these are our total sales numbers. And now we do have data in the right shape. So that's all we wanted. So it's that easy for us to just create a complex set of transformation steps. Look at how many steps we played here on the right, on the apply the steps area. So we do have everything that we did. We can always go back and modify steps again. So for example, I could come back to transpose table or come back to promote headers and make some changes there as needed. At the end of the day, what we're doing is just, as we said, using the Power Query Editor UI to create M code or M language code, which is what eventually gets run through the mashup engine. Once you select one of these steps, you can look at the formula bar to see the equivalent M. So in this case, use first row as headers in M is the table.promote headers function. You can also see the full advanced editor view with the entire set of M statements here with all the different steps, one per row. And actually even make changes here if you want. So towards the end, Matt will actually do a deep dive into M. But just wanted to give you a quick high level. Okay. Let's actually do a little bit more of a more complicated demo. So in this case, let's say that you'd like to actually build an analysis on top of this table here sitting on a website. This website holds data for the domestic gross for domestic movies for year 2019. Let's actually grab this URL, and we'll transition to a new Power BI desktop report. We're going to go get data. And we're going to use the web connector. So I specify my URL, and kind of similar to the previous example with the Excel file, now we're going to go analyze this website. And this website, it's written with HTML, that HTML page. So we're actually going to try and parse and understand the HTML tables within that page. All right, so one of these tables, I believe, is table 5 or table 2. All right, table 3 is the one that actually holds the data that I'm interested in. There's also a web view, so you can actually see this table in context. Now I'm going to go select that one, and I'll click Edit. All right. And that's actually giving me a preview here. So I need to do a few things. The first thing I need to do is actually promote the first row to become the headers. And then I'm only interested in a few of these columns. So I can select the ones that I want, and I could say remove other columns. So again, another one of those future-proof operations, because if a new column showed up in that HTML table in the future, I just stated that I don't care about it. I'm just excluding everything except what I just selected. Let's actually clean up the titles as well, the column headers. So this is the studio. And then here we have total gross. And then we have the number of theaters where that movie is currently being displayed. Now, there's something interesting here. We didn't get those columns promoted. We didn't get types detected. And you might be wondering why. Why didn't we automatically detect those things? Well, turns out there's issues here. And if I scroll all the way down, I'm going to see a number of rows here. There's actually 4 rows that contain a different type of data within each of these columns. So what's going on there? If I switch back to this page and we scroll down all the way to the bottom, we see that actually there is these rows here towards the bottom where actually although they've been formatted as part of that HTML table, they don't belong into the regular table schema that we have for each of the rows with movies information that we saw. What we need to do is actually exclude those. So we can use, within the Home tab, the remove bottom rows operation. The reason why I'm using remove bottom rows is actually that turns out we have different pages with different sets of movies here. So we have 1 through 100, 100 to 200, but the last page only has 39 movies. So if I were to just say keep the top 100, that wouldn't work, because guess what? The last page actually has fewer movies on it. Great. So now that we've pulled the information that we wanted for that single page, it's all about making this pull the other pages. We're going to go turn this into a smaller problems. So the first one that we're going to solve is actually make this URL not hard code the parameters. So there's a parameter here which within the URL, that's the page and the number of that page. Page equals 1. We're actually going to switch to the advanced view on the web connector, and we're going to break this into multiple fragments or parts for that URL. So now I've turned that into 2 parts, and then I'm going to actually turn this into a 3rd part, which is just going to take the rest of the URL. So now, say that I wanted to switch this to 2, and click OK. The query still works, but when I move to the last step, you see that now we're pulling movies starting from 101, because we've moved to the 2nd page on that specific table. Now let's actually make this a parameter. Wouldn't it be nice if it was not hard-coded, right? I could switch this to a new parameter, and I'm going to call it page. And it's going to be a text parameter because I'm concatenating it with the rest of the URL. Now let's say that I wanted to give it a current value of 3. And I'm going to click OK. So a few things happen. The first one is we now see a parameter, page, with a value of 3. And if I switch to the final page, then of course now we're getting movies starting at 201 because it's another page after that. Great. Now that we have this query that understands a parameter that's called page and pulls data from a different page from that website based on the value, let's actually turn this query into a function. It's really easy. Right-click, create function. And because there was a parameter already defined, we actually grab that parameter as the function parameter. So let's actually create a parameter, function name, getPage, and the parameter is actually just page. Great. So now we've turned this into a function. Great. And I can invoke this function. Let's say I want to pull page number 4, invoke that, so we get a new query that actually is the result of invoking that. So I have a movie starting at 301 rating now. Let's actually do something else. We're going to do a blank query, because now we want to pull all the pages. Now, I don't know top of mind how many pages there are, but I kind of know that it's probably not going to be more than 1,000 movies that year. So let me actually create a list of values between 1 and 10. And what we're going to do, we're going to turn this into a table. Whoop. And now that we have a table here, let me assign it a type text, because that's the input parameter type that we need. Now I'm going to go and invoke that getPage function over each of these rows. So we can go add a new column, and we're going to use the invoke custom function experience, which effectively will allow me to actually invoke any of the other custom functions that I've defined within this Power BI desktop file. In this case, I just have one, getPage. It asks me for which parameter I would like to use. I'm going to say use the value from column 1 for this specific row, and hit OK. And now we actually invoke, and we get a bunch of results back. So you see on a row-by-row basis, if I click into the cell background, you actually see the contents for that specific, let me actually make that larger, for that specific page. So we do see all those 100 movies. Now we do have a problem here. As you can see with profiling, we actually have errors. Those errors, if I click on the background, are because we couldn't find that page because there's only 4 pages that hold data. Remember, we had only about 340 movies. So what I can do at this point is to select this column and say, I'm going to remove the rows that contain error values. And when I do that, dynamically, we'll just downset or downsize to only the rows that actually contain the right results. Now from here, I can expand this. And that will just give me the full set. So now we actually get to see the full count of movies here. So we have 339 values, which are the 339 movies that we had. All right, is that good for an overview of Power Query? Let's actually now go talk about a few more things. So because one Power Query was not enough, we actually came up with a second Power Query Online. Now, Power Query Online is exactly the same experience and the same principles, but it's a web-based experience. It supports all the same set of transformations, 300 plus transformations that we have in the M engine. In terms of connectors, we are only at about 45 connectors right now. We're playing catch up with Power Query in the desktop, but we keep adding more and more every month, catching up to those 100 plus that we have in desktop. For those connections that go against on-prem data sources, we use the on-premises data gateway that you probably already used to from using the rest of a Power BI stack. We've integrated Power Query Online with a few different products at this point. Data flows in Power BI, which we do have a deep dive session tomorrow afternoon. The common data service, so you can actually ingest data using Power Query and the on-premises gateway into the common data service so that you can create Power Apps and flows on top of that data. Flow within the SQL Server connector, which I'm actually going to demo in the next 30 seconds. And Azure Data Factory for transformations, which is currently in private preview, that will be going into public preview later this calendar year. Let's switch to a demo. I'm going to show you a demo of Power Query in Flow to give you an idea of the kinds of things that you can do there. How many of you use Flow? All right. More of you should use it. Check this out. Work less, do more. That's what got me in. All right, so with that said, we're looking at Flow. So Flow is basically end user or business user friendly experience. This means that to create automation. So it's kind of orchestration logic, very lightweight, so that you can do things responding to events and kick off new actions based on those events. So for example, let's go and create a new flow that's based on a schedule. So we could say schedule from blank. I'm going to call this MBAS 2019. Starting right now at 10 a.m. and we'll run this once an hour. We're going to create a new flow. So now we're looking at the flow designer, the flow design time experience. Because I'm going to show you Power Query, although there's 200 plus connectors here, but I'm going to show you Power Query, which is bound to the SQL connector to allow you to reshape and transform data on top of SQL Server. I'm going to use the transform data using Power Query action within the SQL Server connector. Now, I'm already using a connection that I have already configured. This is actually going against one of my Azure SQL databases. If this was an on-prem connection to an on-prem SQL Server, you could have done that as well through the on-premises data gateway. Now, I'm going to go into the query editor experience, where I'm going to be able to, very similarly to the experience that you saw earlier, I'm going to be able to pick a few tables from this SQL Server database, or Azure SQL database, and I'm going to be able to apply transformations. So what we want to do, actually, is create this flow that once a month is going to look at our monthly sales numbers, and it's going to identify our top 10 customers, and it's going to automatically send them a thank you email. That's a flow that we're going to build. So for that, we need the customer table, and we also need the order detail table, where we have all of our lines of orders, and then the orders header, or the sales order header table. If I click next, we're going to go into the query editor. Again, you'll feel right at home here. This is the Power Query Online query editor. And we're going to go and fix a few things. So first of all, if we go to the order detail table, this is where we have, for each line of order, we're going to have the product ID that was associated with that order. There's multiple of them. It's a one-to-many relationship between order header and order detail. And we have the product ID, the unit price, and the line total. There's a unit price discount, but I don't feel like giving discount to anyone today, so just live with that. And we're going to say, select these two columns, and I'm going to add a new column that's going to do a standard operation to multiply. So it's just unit price. Oh, sorry, I screwed. My bad. I wanted to actually pick unit price and quantity. You can actually remove steps if you do something wrong. Take unit price and order quantity. And now we're going to multiply them, adding a new column. Great. So now that's our new line total. It's called multiplication. And now what we can do with the order ID is we can do a group by to calculate the order total. And the operation is going to be a sum of the new column that we just created, which is multiplication. All right, so now we have our sales order IDs with the order total. Now if we move to the second table, which was the order header, here really all I care about is the sales order ID and the customer ID column, which is right here. So I can select these two and remove the other columns. And now we're going to do a merge. So we're going to merge with the order detail query, matching by the order ID. We select those two. We can specify the join kind that we want, and we support many of them. We'll just do a left outer. Click OK. So now that's going to give us our extended table where we have a new column that we can expand. And I'm going to just expand the order total column. So that's going to give us, for each order, we're going to get the order total. And now we can do a group by customer ID. So we can calculate total sales for that specific customer. Again, it's going to be the sum of the order total that we just pulled from the other table. Great, so now we have total sales by customer. Now let's actually go to the customer table, which is where we have all of the actual contact info for these customers. We're going to keep the customer ID, and then we're going to keep, oh, wait, look at this. How many columns can you have to actually represent a customer name? Yes, 5 of them. Wouldn't it be nice if I just had one, right? I can easily merge columns, and my separator is the space, and I'm going to call this full name and hit OK. So there is my customer full name column. Great. So now I want the customer ID and the full name, and I also would like to have their email address. Remove the other columns. Let's actually bring the total sales from the other query, which was the sales order header, matching by customer ID on both tables. Click OK. So now for each of those customers, we do have their total sales number. Let me expand here. And I just want total sales. Now we have them, but we have them sorted by customer ID. Really what we would like to do, and many of them haven't done any recent purchase, is to just sort descending on total sales. And now we'll have the actual total spent from those customers. Now we said we only wanted to send a thank you email to the top 10, so we can keep the top rows, and we'll just keep the top 10 rows, the first 10 rows. And that actually gives us our, we said this, the top customers. Great. So now we create this. We're just loading that one top customers table. And now that I have it in context, I can actually go and create another step within my flow to say send email. Send an email. And then within here, I can actually leverage the dynamic content that I had from the other table. So I have the email address that I can use here. The subject would be, thank you for your money. And the body, because we actually have also, oops. All right. We can just say thank you. I missed the quantity column, so I wanted to say 10,000 times thank you, given the actual total spent number. Anyways, but you get the drill. So you basically use Power Query here. We use it to do a 3-way join with multiple aggregations. We also clean some columns to actually then feed subsequent steps within Flow. Think about how powerful that is. And I did it without a single line of code, right? Amazing. Let's actually switch gears now. That was the overview demos that I had. Now let's actually go talk a little bit more about other features that we've recently shipped. Recently released features. This is just a high-level view of everything that we've done since the beginning of the year. There's many features here. There's 20 or so new connectors, many of them actually built by third parties and went through our certification program. So things like MarkLogic, SurveyMonkey, Guidance BI connector for OBIE, and many more. The things that I've highlighted here in purple are actually, besides M-Intelligence, which Matt will show later today, the other things are actually what we call smart data prep features. And we're actually going to go and do a demo of those. But before that, there's something else we wanted to announce, which is a new Power Query website called powerquery.com, where you can go and find everything about Power Query across all products that we integrate with. So let's actually go take a look at that. So I'm switching again here to my browser. PowerQuery.com. And that will actually put you onto our new website, which is launched today. Here you can find everything you need to know about Power Query, including recent news, recent releases, what's all about, what connectivity options we have, what products we integrate with. So you can go, for example, learn about our integrations within Power BI. Everything there is to know you can find here. We also have a lot of information about connectors, some of the AI features that we're going to be demoing later in these sessions, things like profiling, by example capabilities. The resources page is probably the most useful in my opinion. So here we have not only resources provided by Microsoft, but also community resources, books that are available out there that other people are writing about Power Query, forums, community resources, links to all the relevant help pages and community forums about all of the product integrations that we have. I actually wanted to do a little bit of a tribute to this website. So my next demo is actually going to be scraping data from the connectors page here, where we actually have information about all of the connectors available within Power Query. And I'm going to bring that data into Power Query, and then we're going to do some analytics. So let me switch to one of these reports, go edit queries. All right, let me start fresh. So many intermediate queries in there. Let's actually start a new desktop report. So again, we're going to be pulling data from that connectors page. We're going to be using the web by example connector. Because with web by example, besides what I showed you earlier on the other web connector demo that I did, where it was all nicely formatted as an HTML table, reality is there's many websites like this one where there isn't such thing as a table. So for that, we're going to be using web by example. All right, let's switch here. So let's go get some data. We use the web connector again. Provide the URL to the connectors page. And then we're going to go analyze that page. And we're going to find a few suggested tables, actually. And then I'm going to be able to go into the full web by example experience as well. So right now we are analyzing that page. We're pulling some HTML tables. We found some suggested tables. I actually want to go add a table using examples. And that puts me into this interactive mode where I do have, or I will have, the upper half of this dialog is actually going to give me a preview of this website. And the bottom half is an empty table. So let's actually look at it here. Scroll down a little bit more. Run into some projector issue. So now we have the upper half here where we can actually look at examples. All right? And then the bottom half, I can start just typing in whatever I want. So let's say that I wanted to pull that first connector name. That's Access Database. And the second one is Active Directory. And the moment I move to another cell, you see what happened here. We actually brought in all of the other values automatically. We just understood what you were trying to do, what I was trying to do, and we brought them in. But we can do much more than that. So let's say that's a name column. Let's actually also bring the author. And that's the by Microsoft value that you see in there. And the moment we do that, we just fill all of them, because at this point, we already understand the repetition pattern based on the connector name. So for example, if I keep going down, we're going to find the BI connector by guidance. It's here as well. Now let's actually do one more column. This one is actually going to be which products it's available in. And I don't need to type all of the same samples for the same row. So in this case, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to type Power BI next to the Adobe Analytics connector, because as you can see up here, that's the only one where it shows up right now. And we get all of the other ones. So this is actually going to be the products. And the last thing that I wanted to pull from here is the connector category. So here's the top left corner. There's database versus other versus online services. So I'm going to call this the category. And this one is database. And just hit enter, and we get all of them. Great. So at this point, I'm ready to just go click OK. And we're going to come back to here. And I do have my table now with that preview. Let's actually go and do a little bit more of transformations. We'll switch back to my query editor here. OK, so that's our one table. Great. So let's actually go and do a few things. The first one, by Microsoft. So actually, I don't like the by thing in there. So let's actually go and scrape it up. With by example, you can not only extract data from an external web page like I showed you, but you can also extract data from other columns within your existing tables in the query editor. So if I come to the Add Column tab, we do have column from examples that will put us into the same mode. So here I can just start typing what I want to extract, in this case, Microsoft. And it automatically detects what we were trying to do, which is get me the text after the delimiter, and the delimiter is the space. So now I can call this column the owner. And of course, I can get rid of the original column, which I didn't want anymore. Now, another thing that I wanted to do, actually, we do have the connector name column. And if we scroll down a little bit, you see some examples like Dremio, which has beta in parentheses. So this basically is telling us if we do have beta in parentheses, the connector is beta. If not, it's actually a generally available connector, a GA connector. So I'd like to propagate that value as a new column. I'm going to use conditional column to just define that as a rule. So I would say my column, I'm going to call it maturity level. If the column name contains a value of beta in parentheses, then the connector is in beta. Else, it's actually GA. And that's our maturity level column now. All right, super easy. What else can we do? OK, so we do have this column with products here. Now, I'm actually going to create a little tooltip for each of these connectors using by example. So if I come in here and I'm going to type something on the Adobe Analytics one, so we could say Adobe Analytics built by Microsoft is a GA connector in Power BI. Period. When I move to the next row, we actually got the full expression here. So it actually constructed that sentence based on just that one example. So I can actually see for all of the other ones that it actually pulled the right values in there. Super easy. So I'm going to call this comment. And I'm going to hit OK. So now we do have that new comment column. And now that I have that, this products column is actually not in a right shape so that I can aggregate. I would like to build a report that allows me to slice by products and see the different connectors that are available in each of the products. To do that, we're actually going to use split columns by delimiter. And the delimiter here is a comma. But instead of splitting into new columns, I'm going to split into new rows. So now we've expanded, and oops. For each of the connectors, we're going to have a different row for each of the products that it integrates with. Now, we split it by comma, and we do have spaces and so on. So what we need to do here is within the Transform tab, we're actually going to go format this to trim values. So now we remove the leading and trailing white spaces. So now we do have a much cleaner data set that we can use, and we could start doing aggregates. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to do some quick things right here. So we can look at profiling. So we can turn on profiling with column quality. All are valid. We can look at the distribution of values, and we can also look at profiles. So I guess, OK, we could move to a previous step before my split, so we can look at those values again. Let me actually change this column type to text. So now we can look at, yes, we have 109 connectors, as we were saying. Most of the connectors have been built by Microsoft, actually, when we look at the deep dive. Sorry, the wrong column. But the owner. Most of the connectors have been built by Microsoft, 85 out of those 109. PlanView has actually built 3, and then a bunch of other folks have built at least 1 connector, which is great to see. Maturity level, most of our connectors are generally available, 75 of them. There is 34 of them who are actually at still beta. And in terms of the categories that we support, most of them are online-based connectors, a bunch of databases, other connectors file, a couple of connectors for Power BI with Power BI datasets and data flows. So just wanted to show you a quick demo of a bunch of things. First one of all, which I want you to go back to, is powerquery.com. Go check it out. We're super excited about the new website. Web by example, data profiling, and a bunch of transformations along the way. Let's actually come back here and run through the rest of the presentation. So we've talked about the Power Query overview. We've talked about some recently shipped features. We're actually going to talk for the rest of the session about what's coming next or coming soon. So the first one, not coming soon, but actually coming today, which was already released, is the Power BI Desktop June release. We've made a couple of connector enhancements there, including the Common Data Service connector is now generally available. Several enhancements to the Cosmos DB connector, performance improvement, more push down and folding improvements on that connector. Enhancements to M-IntelliSense with parameter hints in the formula bar. A new certified connector released as part of a product, Entersoft, built by a third-party ISV who wanted to bring their connector into Power BI. And last, the Power BI Desktop theme, which is the new like theme, is now also integrated with the Power Query editor. Now, what else is coming later this year? And this category I like to split in 3 main buckets. The first one is new connectors. Then what enhancements are we making to existing connectors? And then what else are we doing in terms of data preparation capabilities and general query editor enhancements? In terms of new connectors, we're working on a new Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 connector. We do have a Gen 1 connector now. This connector will go into public preview next month as part of the July Power BI Desktop release. The at-scale connector, which has been around for the last few months, is going general availability later this year. We're working on a new Hive LLAP connector, as well as a new Athena connector, Amazon Athena connector. And I'm sure there'll be many others built by third parties and certified through us, just like based on the last few months' trends over there and the healthy pipeline. In terms of enhancements to existing connectors, the Cosmos DB connector will go GA in the next couple months as well. We're working on direct query over PostgreSQL. SAP HANA connectivity will be enhanced. We'll support HCI containers, which is a new 2.0 HANA concept. We're going to add support to Connect Gateway for the DB2 connector. The Snowflake connector is getting Azure Active Directory or AAD sign-on and single sign-on capabilities as well. In terms of data prep enhancements, more stuff around data profiling that we're working towards, better filtering, visualizations, the ability to interact with those column charts and apply operations from them. We're actually going to do Venn diagrams within the merge dialog for the join types. So let me show you that. So the left is the current dialog with that little drop down at the bottom for the join kind. We're actually going to do the icons for better clarity on the different types of merge. Fuzzy clustering, so we did release fuzzy merge earlier this year. Fuzzy clustering will actually allow you to cluster values within a single column, similar values based on the fuzzy or the similarity score. Query diagnostics, which is a feature that will allow you to get better insight into how your queries are performing, how many or what steps are being pushed down to the underlying data source, how long it takes to run a query in the underlying data source versus locally, and will allow you to better troubleshoot and diagnose performance issues within your queries. With that said, the last demo is going to be a M deep dive and M intelligence demo by Mr. Matt Mason. He said, great, thank you very much.
And
he needs help with the mic.
And is this on now? OK, great. Thank you, Miguel. I always enjoy watching Miguel's demos, even though I've seen them so many times. They are always so interesting and perfect. And so my demo today is going to be pretty quick. Hi, everybody. Matt Mason is my name. I've been demoing Power Query and M for a while. One of the things, first time I saw Power Query, first time I saw the language, I fell in love with M. And I've been a heavy M user since. And one of the things I like doing is promoting the use of M. And one of the things that we've been doing to further promote M is to make it a better experience. And so as you saw on some of the demos today, we now have IntelliSense for M in Power BI Desktop. Right? So that's in the advanced editor, in the formula bar, in the add column dialog. We're now bringing IntelliSense to all the M surfaces. And so what I was going to show today, as you see, this is Excel, which also has a Power Query experience. And an upcoming feature, which will be going out sometime after July, depending on what Excel ring you're on, is IntelliSense in Excel. So I can type, this is a string. You see the nice highlighting. And I can do number to text. And I get syntax highlighting and everything. And I can zoom in just to show you guys. So yeah, now you have full IntelliSense with the drop-down, like any other programming language. One of the new features that we've just added in recently, I believe it went out in the June release, is in the formula bar, you get full IntelliSense drop-down, hover capabilities as well. So you hover your mouse over, you get context about what the different values are. And since I have a couple of minutes, I was just going to do a quick building M from scratch type thing. So one of the useful functions we have is list.dates. And I can you see the arguments for list.dates is start, date, count, and steps. So my start date will be 2019, 1/1. My count, let's do 365 days. And my duration step will be 1 day. Whoops. Wrong argument there, 0, 0, 0. And so now I've basically automatically generated a list of dates. And what I'm going to do is actually build my own date dimension using purely with M, rather than importing from a table or anything like that, right? Creating a date dimension, a custom date dimension that you can add your custom attributes to, very useful thing. And I'm just going to do that purely in M. So I'll start by converting this to a table. Rename this to date. I will change the, quickly transform the type to date as well. And bring up our handy add custom column dialog. Right, so custom column lets me type in an expression, and I can start typing in date functions. So date.year, for example, and my list of available columns comes up. I have date, and let's call this year. So that extracts the year value. I can add another column for, let's call this month name. So date.month name. And I can still double click my columns and like that, but my columns also now come up as part of my IntelliSense suggestions. One of the neat things of month.name, as I can see here, date.month name can take in a culture. So if I wanted to pass in a culture value like French, I now get French date names, right? So there's a lot of, I could keep going, building my entire date dimension. I will copy and paste as a quick cheat. Bring up the advanced editor. While I'm doing this, I want to call out some of the advanced editor features as well. So we have these display options. So I can do things like have line numbers, enable word wrap, so values wrap around, even display a little mini map in the corner there for very long queries that lets you sort of see a miniaturized view of your query, and you can scroll around. I'll replace this with
And you can also copy paste.
And I can copy and paste. So I've copy and pasted an existing function, handy function, that lets me actually generate my full date dimension. Now, because my function, as you see here, I've declared that the start date parameter is a date and end date is a date, the Power Query UI automatically generates the appropriate controls for you. Right, so rather than, I can just enter text, but because Power Query knows it's a date, it also gives you a parameter prompt here. So I could pick that. Optional culture, I'll leave it as my default. And now I've generated a full date dimension, right, with all the different values, all the different calculations that I've put in. So this just scratches the surface of the things that you can do with M. As Miguel said, there's over 300 transformations built into the product. We try to expose as much as you can with the UI. There's a bit of a discussion on Twitter during that Box Office Mojo demo, showing that we've been doing that demo for years. And every time we do it, it gets less and less typey and more just UI clicky, because we start adding more and more functionality, exposing more functionality in the UI, making the product easier to use. So yeah, Excel IntelliSense coming soon. Next up is Power Query Online IntelliSense too. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Thanks, Matt. So we are almost at time. Just wanted to point you guys to the related sessions done by our team between today and tomorrow. Many of them happened in the past, so you should either check out the recording or take a time machine, up to you. Either one of the two works. If you guys like my jokes, tomorrow I'm doing another session in the afternoon about data flows. And we'll have some big announcements there around data flows as well, so I'd recommend you guys to go there. Besides that, just all the other sessions for the team around the gateway, CDM, dual write capabilities, building connectors, both on Power BI as well as Power Apps and Flow, and many more sessions. We do have 3 minutes left, so we'll open up for questions. And whether you like the jokes or not, just don't forget to evaluate the session. We'll dial jokes up or down for next time accordingly. Thank you.
Thanks.
So questions, first question is always hard, so let's actually go with the second question. Any second question? All right, well, if there are no questions, we could go on vacation.
So my question is, why did we do PowerQuery.com and not getandtransformdata.com?
Oh, sure, we should buy that domain as well.
Yeah. Question over here?
Is it possible to specify login credentials on the web connector?
Sorry, I didn't hear quite right. Credentials?
I believe the question was, is it possible to specify login credentials as part of the web connector? So, for example, you're connecting to a web page that's protected by basic auth or things like that. Yeah. No, it is not. Especially if it's form-based auth or some sort of cookie-based auth, we don't maintain that browser session. So those types of pages currently are not supported.
Okay, thank you.
What about fiscal time periods?
So built-in M functions for generating fiscal time periods? I'm not sure about that. If you want to come by the data integration booth and tell me exactly what you're looking for, we can find the matching function. Okay.
Question over there?
I don't know if this is too early, but can you elaborate any more on what your fuzzy matching will look like?
Yeah, so the question is if we could go deeper into fuzzy matching and describing the capabilities there. We do have plenty of docs there, but it's basically, if you look at the merge dialog experience in Power BI Desktop, we actually provide not only strict matching, but also fuzzy matching, and you can configure many knobs, including what similarity threshold you'd like to have, whether to consider multiple words, a single word, uppercase or lowercase sensitivity, and also synonyms and things around that level. So we do have a lot of docs on that, and the other thing we need to say is that that feature is also coming to Excel later this year. But yeah, go check them out. And if you have a specific questions there, we can chat afterwards as well.
In terms of actual implementation, it's a derivative of MSR's fuzzy logic libraries.
Right.
So if you ever use the fuzzy logic libraries for Excel or add-ins for Excel or in SSIS, it's an evolution of those technologies.
Okay, thank you.
Question?
The data quality function, I've used it a lot, but it'd be great if you could actually export that attribute immediately in order to be able to communicate with data providers about how their quality is.
So the comment, if I understand right, is about all the data profiling charts and that data being able to export that in a way to a report or something that you can save off.
Yes,
right?
in fact, maybe even
Yes.
just a button to push it to Power
So
BI.
there's actually, if you, check out a blog post that Reza Rad wrote actually a couple of weeks ago.
On the
There's an
table-
underlying
Yes.
function, table.aggregate, table.profile, that allows you to pull all of that information.
I actually saw that, and
Yeah.
but the ability to actually to get a graphical of the data too, maybe even a few more statistics around it would be great
Yeah.
too.
Yep, that's
Hi.
that's great feedback. Thanks.
Just a question. Like, you did so many steps in a Power Query, right? If I have to repeat the same steps to clean out a different set of data, is it possible for me to save those steps and then like reapply it?
Yeah, so the question is reusing the same steps across different reports and so on. So today we don't have like a built-in way to, pin a function or save your own function somewhere else. We do support copy-paste across, but that's great feedback and something we'll look at in the future. Go to ideas.powerbi.com to vote for that capability across.
It would be great if you
And
had.
so within a single report, you can always take your logic and say create function and save it
Yeah.
as a function, and then call that function again. But when it comes to across sources, that's something that we'd love to add.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This side?
When I create a custom function, can I put it in an auto refresh within Power BI?
Yeah, so the question is, if you use a custom function, can I use it on auto refresh on Power BI? So the answer is functions in general, yes. There's particular cases there where sometimes it would work, sometimes it won't. Particularly things that dynamically configured data sources are not supported today in Power BI service refresh, but that's something we're working on with the Power BI service team to address in the future.
Will there ever be a feature to be able to query a Power BI data model where you could get your table with DAX calculations and everything you've built in another report?
Yeah, the question is whether there will be a feature to query a Power BI data model. It's a great question for the Power BI data modeling team, because with the custom connector SDK, they could definitely build that connector. I don't think there's anything in the works right now.
I think that's one of those things that needs to be upvoted on ideas.powerbi.com. I think that's
Yeah.
it. Like from the technical perspective, the Power BI data model is a AS tabular model, and we've just never had to build a connector in Power Query to connect directly to the model. We have an AS MDX connector, right? We have the Q-based connector, but Power BI already speaks DAX, already knows how to talk to the tabular model. We've just never had to do it. So I think that's one of those features that enough upvotes, enough voting on ideas.powerbi.com, we could definitely do it. It's just not on the current roadmap.
Okay, thanks.
Questions on this side?
Any suggestions on training and certification?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Any suggestions on training and certification?
Training around certification. We do have a doc site that has over 100 docs. It's docs.microsoft.com/PowerQuery. And yeah, go check it out. One of the pages is specifically about the certification process. The rest are all documentation about how to build custom connectors.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
training and certification as a
I see. Okay,
Like as
great.
part of the Microsoft certs type
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at it. The last I saw, the Power BI certification usually includes some form of Power Query stuff in there.
Yes.
I don't think there's dedicated Power Query courses, or at least
No,
I saw.
there's a dedicated Power Query one. There's Power BI training courses that will walk you through the data. And there's also, of course, the other webinars and so on getting started with Power Query. And all the books that we have on the site, thanks Mahesh for pointing that out, but the resources page that you saw on the powerquery.com site, go check them out. There's a lot of books there. And we also have links to external blogs and folks who are doing Power Query training, not Microsoft, but Power Query training done by the community and the MVPs, which are excellent resources.
Thank you.
When you were using the URL to pull data on the movies for 2019, is it possible to have two parameters, like one for page number and one for year, to pull all the movies from like 1990 through 2019?
Yeah, so the question is if I were able to have multiple parameters in that URL, so you saw how I was constructing multiple parts, you could further break down that URL, as long as the URL accepts that year, and in this case it did. So yeah, it's definitely something you can do.
All right, thank you.
You can run into some complications when it comes to refreshing the service, depending on how dynamic your URLs are.
Yeah.
I talked about that in my previous session around custom connectors. If it gets to a point where you're just generating dynamic URLs all the time, it might simplify your life if you just build a custom connector. Like you could have a Box Office Mojo connector that automatically pages. Users don't have to mess with page numbers, properties, anything like that. It just knows how, built into the connector, it will know how to do all that paging for you. So.
Regarding your custom date table made in M language, is it possible to graph that and have it in an x-axis? Will it be categorical or continuous?
I understood half of those words. So let's talk about that afterward, unless you understood what.
I think you asked about a date table and whether you can configure the axis to be categorical or contiguous.
Yeah, so currently the auto date table allows you to have a line graph, and the x-axis will let you go through the hierarchy, and it always keeps everything in view.
Yeah.
If you create your own date table and drop through a custom hierarchy, it defaults it to categorical, so you never see everything in total view. It'll then just view it by category.
Yeah.
So I don't. Okay, now I understand. So if you auto-generate in M, you'll get the same behavior as if you were importing it from an external source. Like it'll behave the same way. So it's not going to add any new capabilities there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Last question, I believe. Okay, we're done.
Just a little more. I got one.
Got a question?
Within Power Query, what kind of performance issues will you have writing a lot of DAX functions and formulas within there?
Well, M formulas in Power Query. So
Okay.
we have M in Power Query side. This is the data transformation, and then once your data is loaded into the model, then you do your DAX stuff. So which level is your question for?
The M.
The M side?
Yeah.
So I mean, overall performance, it really depends on the data you're connecting to and the data sources and things like that. One of the magic things that Power Query does is we try to push down as much of the work as possible to the back-end source. Right? So if you're working with terabytes of data in a relational data system, data source, and your transformations can be fully pushed, then your performance is limited to whatever your back-end system performance is. If you're trying to do tons of transformations over a 100 terabyte CSV file, your performance is going to be terrible because there's no engine for us to push to. Right? There's no magic we can do.
And would you say that doing that on the back end is better than doing it on the front end?
It really depends on the back end, right? And it depends on the capability of the source, right? If you have so if ultimately your data source is a large CSV file and you put a web service in front of it, I don't know if you'll get any better experience than bringing the entire file down and processing it client side. So it really depends. I mean, my general recommendation is if you're doing analytics, use an analytics capable source, right? Put it in a data source that can support queries. That's the biggest feedback we give to people who are building custom connectors who want to send lots of data down to their customers. Customers will always need to filter, will always need to do those different things. So design for that upfront.
Okay, thank you.
Make sense? Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.